How about this hot weather? How will it affect these horses?
Well, it'll affect them by making them go faster, although one thing about tonight, although it's hot, 90 degrees, there's a little bit of a breeze blowing. It is not one of those hot, intolerably humid nights which produces really the fastest mile. But off the strength of what's happened here tonight, an earlier mile in 1:55 in the second race, a mile in 1:56 in the third race, and the consolation three-year-old event going in 1:55 and 1/5 to Livingston County, I look for these horses to go in either 1:53 and a piece or 1:54.
Temujin and Apollo's Way start from the second tier. All 12 on gate, and here's Tom Durkin with the call.
And Elitist is out quickly, and on the far outside, Hilarion moves up. Rompin' Home comes away third toward the inside. Pit Boy in between horses, racing fourth. JJ's Biltmore 3 wide and fifth. And Temujin toward the inside is racing in sixth. And then it's Apollo's Way, seventh toward the inside. Tyler's Brother is now eighth at the rail. Mackenzie Almerhurst came away ninth, and No Nukes came away 10th. Then it's Solid Fuel, and Icarus Lobel trails the field 12th and last. 28 seconds flat for the first quarter. They move up the backstretch now, and from the outside, there goes Elitist to take over from Hilarion. 2.5 lengths to Rompin' Home, now racing in third, and Pit Boy is the first over, moving up into fourth. Toward the inside, Temujin is fifth by a length and a half. Apollo's Way on the outside is sixth by a half length. Tyler's Brother is seventh toward the rail. And there goes No Nukes with a 3-wide move down the backstretch. No Nukes begins to roll quickly. He's up into fourth as they reach the half mile. Farther back, it's JJ's Biltmore. Icarus Lobel on the outside is now racing in ninth. And then it's Mackenzie Almerhurst, followed by Solid Fuel, the trailer. 57 and 1 for the half mile. The field moves into the far turn, and it is No Nukes. No Nukes now in front by a head. Elitist is right there racing in second. JJ's Biltmore is on the move, 3 wide. Pit Boy is just off the leaders between horses, racing in fourth position. Hilarion within striking distance, but locked at the rail in sixth. And Temujin swings wide for the drive. Mackenzie Almerhurst is far back in the pack. 1:25 and 2 for 3/4. The field is at the top of the stretch. It's No Nukes in front by a half length. Elitist is right there, second. Pit Boy on the outside. Rompin' Home toward the rail, and Hilarion. They move to the final 16th. No Nukes in front and driving. Hilarion is right there, second. Here comes Mackenzie with a late move on the outside. No Nukes with a short lead. Hilarion right there. No Nukes and Hilarion. It's too close to call. Hilarion and No Nukes finish together. Final time, 1:54 and 1. Too close to call.
A photo finish, and we'll have to wait for the photo. One thing is certain, it was 1:54 and 1/5 second. We'll be back. Post Time USA will continue in just a moment.
Hey, that's an improvement.
That's some improvement.
That's a terrific improvement. Now that's what I call an improvement.
Now that is an improvement.
For 21 years we've done nothing but improve. Call A.V. Jennings Home Improvements for a new way of life, right where you're living now.
The Datsun Bluebird is Australia's #1 selling 2-litre car. Right now, you can buy a brand new 4-speed manual Datsun Bluebird GL sedan for a special $7,690. A 2-litre Sigma GL costs $8,260. Victoria's Datsun dealers guarantee you won't pay more than $7,690 for a Datsun Bluebird GL sedan, but only until the end of July. See your participating Datsun dealer today for a top trade-in and a #1 price on the #1 Datsun Bluebird.
Because the best entertainment is when you entertain yourself, Fisher-Price makes entertaining toys that are built to give hours of pleasure and take years of hard knocks. Our tape recorder has a grown-up quality guaranteed sound system in a sturdy case with simple controls. Then there's our movie viewer. Your children just slip in the cartridge and then turn the crank. Forward, faster, slow motion, even backward. The Entertainers by Fisher-Price. Let your children run their own show.
Over the years, I've developed my own special style. Backhand's part of it. Concentrate on your own style and you can be the best. It works for Kentucky Fried Chicken. Their secret recipe has its own special style. No one else does it so tender and juicy the Colonel's way.
Hey, Gong, lunchtime.
Ah!
Kentucky Fried Chicken, we do it right. Kentucky Fried Chicken. We do chicken right.
Showed 1B. Hilarion was up to win it in the final stride with No Nukes finishing second in the tightest of photo finishes.
Well, it was the tightest of photo finishes, and No Nukes could not get to the front over at the far turn, and that battle around that turn just took enough out of him, and Hilarion came on, and it is a surprise. Hilarion last week won elimination here in 1:54 and 3/5 for Bill O'Donnell. O'Donnell was driving romping home tonight, and John Campbell got the mount behind Hilarion. And we mentioned earlier this evening that those two represent two of the most talented young drivers in American harness racing history, and they showed it tonight, or at least Campbell did, as he wins this $1 million race with a horse that was very lightly regarded at the beginning of the year.
Let's take a look at the replay now as the field moved around the far turn. Hilarion is way far in the background.
Well, No Nukes is trying gamely and valiantly on the outside here, and at this point it looks like he might be going to win it. He is in front, and Glenn Garnsey is asking him for every ounce he has, and the horse gave him every ounce that he had. We thought it would go in 1:54. It went in 1:54 and 1, and look at Campbell getting the last drop from Hilarion. Hilarion, the winner, is by strikeout. He is a horse that was very successful on the racetrack, but has not been quite as successful because he is not a prolific breeder in the breeding shed. But the ones that he sires have speed, and this one showed his speed and his toughness and his gameness tonight.
And he was tough and game in the eliminations a week from last week. And you know, it was so funny. Bill O'Donnell came over to this very spot 1 week ago, and he shook his head and he said, I thought the folks were throwing their money away putting this horse in the eliminations. It cost a few bucks to bring the horse around.
Well, he has a good, pardon me, Dave.
And here he is not only winning the elimination heat, but winning the big one, the $1 million.
Well, he has a good reason for thinking that, because last year the horse won $4,300. He just won $500,000 in winning this $1 million one tonight. And you can see a very, very happy crew. The 9-Star Stable out of Yardley, Pennsylvania, are the owners, and it looks like all 9 stars are down there with John Campbell and his lovely wife.
And that was Lou Guida congratulating the driver just a second ago. And John Campbell, he really was very lucky to get this catch drive, I would think.
Well, Campbell is just absolutely a super driver. He is one of the great race drivers of our generation and of all time, and he and O'Donnell have stamped themselves in just a few short years. Their history goes back here to the history of the Meadowlands.
Let's take a look at the prices. It's official now on the tote board, and the winner, of course, was coupled in the wagering as part of a 3-horse entry with Rompin' Home and Mackenzie Almahurst. So Hilarion, coupled with Mackenzie Almahurst and Rompin' Home, pays $720. $320 and even more $340 to show. No Nukes pays $3 and $260. That horse was coupled in the wagering with Temujin. And the third horse under the wire, Mackenzie Almahurst, was of course coupled with Hilarion. So those prices right across the board for Mackenzie Almahurst also.
The reason
Hello, Stephen Phillips here in Melbourne with the summary of the race. Hilarion, number 10. TAB, number 10. No Nukes, number 2. And number 9, Mackenzie Almahurst, third. And those dividends that we saw just a moment ago, not applicable in Australia, of course. You'll have to check with the TAB agencies in your state. John Campbell driving Hilarion very nicely indeed, and $500,000 richer. Magnificent race from the New Jersey pacing arena, Meadowlands Paceway, USA, 1982 Meadowlands Pace, $1 million, and $500,000 certainly makes it a very good afternoon indeed. As I said, if you'd like to check with your local TAB agencies, and they'll fill you in with all the details. Hope you enjoyed it. Part of the 7 Network's international racing coverage.
The 1982 Meadowlands Pace was another exclusive international sporting presentation from 7 Sport. Tonight at 6:30, catch all the high-flying highlights of today's VFL matches on 7's Big League. Essendon's clash with the Swans, Fitzroy's battle with Collingwood at VFL Park, and the Demons match against the Tigers at the MCG. Catch Seven's Big League tonight, 6:30.
Take a bow